Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive with us. Today, AI is everywhere these days,
That
right?
really is.
But we're going to zoom in on how AI is shaking things up in the podcasting world.
Okay.
Specifically, we're diving into this new tool called Manus IA.
Interesting.
You want to know how AI could maybe even revolutionize how you make your podcast, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And what that could mean for the future of podcasting, right?
Yeah.
So we dug into this article called Manus IA, Your Intelligent Ally for the Creation of High-Impact Podcasts.
Okay.
And I got to say, it's pretty mind-blowing stuff.
It sounds like it.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. So the article kicks off by describing Manus IA as this intelligent ally for podcasters.
Okay.
Basically, think of it kind of like,
Yeah.
a super smart computer program. That's like your co-host, right?
Yeah.
Helping you with every single step of making a podcast. I mean, we're talking from brainstorming ideas all the way to getting it out there for the world to listen to.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's interesting because I feel like we've seen AI handling things like transcribing and editing for a while now, right?
Yeah.
But it seems like Manus IA is aiming for something much bigger, a more strategic role in focused on the content itself.
Absolutely.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so the article dives into the nitty-gritty of what Manus IA can actually do.
Okay.
It's got automation for all the tedious stuff that nobody really likes doing.
Yeah.
A user-friendly interface so you don't need to be a total tech genius to use it.
Okay, good.
Right.
Yeah.
And then it gets into these features that are almost straight out of science fiction.
Really?
Okay, take for example the content research feature.
Okay.
We're not talking about just pulling random articles from the internet. This thing curates the latest info, trends, even hard data, all related to whatever your podcast is about.
So it's
Imagine having
it's like having an AI research assistant just working with you.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
That's wild.
Right. So no more falling down those research rabbit holes for hours and hours.
Oh, man.
Sign me up.
That sounds great. Yeah.
But wait, there's more.
What else?
It can also make your writing better.
Okay.
By, making sure your scripts are clear, engaging, structured in a way that keeps people hooked,
Oh, that's great.
on the edge of their seats.
So it's it's not just about making things faster.
Right.
It's about making the content itself better.
Exactly.
That's so interesting.
And that's where I think we really start to see the potential impact of AI on podcasting.
Yeah.
It's not just about getting things done quicker. It's about making the actual content itself better. Right.
Absolutely, yeah.
Manus IA is powered by this sophisticated, natural language processing engine.
Yeah.
That means it can process tons and tons of information and find those hidden gems that maybe a human might miss. Right?
Yeah.
It can even identify trends and patterns that are emerging.
That's cool.
Yeah. So it really is like having,
It's like having a superpower brain.
yeah, a superpower brain.
Yeah.
Working alongside you.
Yeah.
But hold on, we haven't even gotten to the strategic suggestions yet.
Oh, okay.
This AI can actually give you advice
Okay.
on the best ways to promote your podcast and get it out there for people to hear.
That raises a really interesting question. How does this actually work for podcasters in their day-to-day?
Yeah.
How can you actually use Manus IA at each stage of making a podcast?
That's a great question, and that's exactly what we're going to find out. The article breaks it down into 6 key areas.
Okay.
Starting with coming up with a killer concept for your show.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Apparently, Manus IA can look at trends and what audiences are really into these days to help you come up with topics for your podcast that are not only interesting to you, but also have the potential to really find an audience.
Okay, so it's like having a built-in focus group constantly figuring out what listeners are craving.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty wild. This could be huge for new podcasters who are still trying to figure out what their niche is.
Yeah, definitely.
Or, for more established creators who want to try something totally different.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
So instead of scrolling through social media for hours and hours, hoping that inspiration's going to strike, you could just have Manus IA working for you in the background. Talk about efficient.
Talk about efficient. That sounds amazing.
But it doesn't just drop a topic in your lap and call it a day.
Okay.
Manus IA can help you structure your entire podcast, figure out how long each episode should be, and even suggest different formats to play around with.
What's fascinating to me
Yeah.
is that this type of planning is often what separates, the podcasts that really take off
Yeah.
from that kind of struggle.
Totally.
Having AI assistance with that kind of strategic thinking could be huge for anyone.
Yeah, it could be a game changer for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say Manus IA has helped you come up with like this amazing concept.
Okay.
You got your plan all laid out right.
Mm-hmm.
Now you actually need to make the content,
Yeah.
which means research.
That's right.
And the article makes it super clear that Manus IA isn't just pulling random facts from the internet. It's giving you accurate, well-researched info
Okay.
to like back up your arguments and add some real depth to your episodes.
Okay.
It's like,
And think about how much time you'd save.
Yeah.
Instead of spending hours and hours
Yeah.
going down, internet rabbit holes,
Yeah.
searching for credible sources,
Totally.
Manus IA just handles all that.
Yeah.
You can focus on crafting a really compelling story, connecting with your audience on a deeper level.
Yeah, so you're trading hours of fact-checking
Yeah.
for more time to, like, focus on the heart of your podcast.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
But what about actually writing the script?
Okay.
This is where things get even more interesting.
Okay.
The article says Manus IA can help you write your scripts.
Mm-hmm.
It can make sure it flows smoothly, has the right tone of voice,
Okay.
fits the topic and your target audience.
I'm curious about the creative side of that. Like, how much control do you
Yes.
actually have over the voice and style?
Yeah.
Is Manus IA just making suggestions?
Right.
Or is it taking a more, active role in shaping the story?
That's a great question. I mean, it sounds like Manus IA is designed to be more of a collaborative partner.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
it's not some robot telling you exactly what to say.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine it provides a foundation.
Okay.
But you're still the one telling the story,
Okay.
You, the podcast creator.
Yeah, so that's a crucial distinction because it keeps, the human element at
Exactly.
part of it all.
It's still your voice, your
Okay.
unique perspective.
It's your unique perspective and voice that make your podcast special.
Totally.
Technology should be there to help us be more creative,
Right.
not replace our creativity altogether.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
But hold on, there's still more.
Oh, there's more?
Manus IA even helps with recording and editing,
Okay.
even though it doesn't actually touch the audio files itself.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
I find it interesting what the article said about recommendations on recording techniques, background music, sound effects.
Yeah.
Like Manus IA is thinking about the whole experience of listening
Yeah.
to a podcast,
Totally.
not just the words being said.
It's like having, an AI producer
Right.
whispering tips in your ear,
Yeah.
giving you advice on how to make your podcast sound more professional, more engaging.
Yeah, I like that. But even the most amazing sounding podcast won't find an audience if nobody knows about it, right?
Right?
So how do you get it out there?
That's where things get really strategic.
And that's where Manus IA steps in again.
Mm-hmm.
It uses its AI power to help with promotion and distribution, which is so crucial these days, right?
Totally.
There's so much content out there.
Yeah.
How do you stand out?
Yeah.
And we've talked about how Manus IA can analyze data and trends.
Right.
That comes in handy here because it can help you target your marketing efforts, choose the right platforms to share your podcast on, and even track how your audience is engaging with your content
Okay.
to see what's working and what needs tweaking.
So it's like having
Yeah.
a whole team working behind the scenes.
It's like having, a whole team of experts
Yeah.
working on your podcast.
From research to marketing, covering all the bases.
From research to marketing, I mean, it's covering everything.
That's amazing.
But before we get too carried away with all the possibilities, I think it's important to take a step back for a second
Okay.
and think about what this means for the podcasting world as a whole.
Right. Yeah.
AI is clearly changing how podcasts are made, managed, and even listened to.
Yeah.
But is it a good thing, ultimately?
Yeah.
Is it going to empower creators?
Yeah.
Lead to even more creative and diverse podcasts?
Yeah.
Or could it lead to every podcast starting to sound the same?
Oh, that's a great question.
It's a big question.
Yeah, it's a big question.
And we're definitely going to be diving into it as we learn more about how AI is becoming, part of the creative process.
Yeah.
But for now, let's dive deeper into how Manus IA can help podcasters at each stage of making their show.
Let's do it. I'm really curious to see how these features play out in the real world.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, so let's dig into how you could actually use this Manus AI
Yeah, let's get specific.
at each step, right? We'll start right at the beginning
Okay.
with that,
Yeah.
Really important first step.
Coming up with the idea.
Coming up with a winning idea.
Yes, because
Yeah.
even if you've made like 100 podcasts,
Yeah.
sometimes that blank page can be so intimidating.
Totally.
you know?
Yeah.
So the article talked about how Manus IA can analyze trends
Okay.
and audience data to help you find like those golden topic ideas.
Okay.
It's like having a direct line to what listeners actually want to hear.
Exactly. Imagine being able to pinpoint those topics that not only like spark your interest, but also, have a good chance of resonating with a wider audience.
Have the potential to really like take off.
Yeah, to really take off. That's a game changer.
It is a game changer.
Especially for, new podcasters finding their footing.
Yeah, like if you're new and you don't know where to start,
Totally.
Manus IA could be like your guide.
Exactly.
And even for, seasoned creators who want to branch out.
Yeah, who are looking to, try something totally different.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it doesn't just, stop there.
Right.
Remember we talked about how Manus IA is more than just a time saver?
Yes.
Well, once you've got that concept,
Yeah.
it helps you structure your entire podcast.
Okay.
Figure out how long each episode should be. And even, like, suggests different formats to experiment with.
So it's not just like brainstorming.
Right.
It's like crafting a strategic plan for your podcast.
It's like having a roadmap,
Yeah.
for your show.
That's exactly it. And, having that clear roadmap from the outset can make such a big difference in the long run.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've got this killer concept now,
Okay.
thanks to Manus IA's, insights.
Yeah.
You've got your plan in place. Now comes the part that a lot of podcasters, I think, dread.
Yeah.
Research.
Research, yeah.
But with Manus IA,
Yeah.
maybe research doesn't have to be so daunting.
Maybe not.
Right.
That's right. Instead of like spending hours sifting through, search results and chasing down credible sources,
Totally.
you can let Manus IA kind of do the heavy lifting for you.
It's like having an assistant.
Think of it as like your dedicated research assistant meticulously gathering accurate information to support your ideas, add depth to your podcast.
But no more late nights hunched over your computer trying to verify all those facts and figures.
That sounds pretty appealing.
It does. It does.
It definitely frees up your time and energy, right?
Yeah.
So you can focus on what really matters. It's like weaving those facts
Right.
into a captivating narrative that's really going to keep your listeners hooked.
Right. And that's what makes a podcast memorable.
Yeah.
It's how you connect with your audience through your storytelling.
Exactly.
And speaking of storytelling, this is where things get really interesting with Manus IA.
Okay.
The article mentions its ability to assist with script creation and structuring.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
it can even help you write your scripts.
I know that sounds almost too good to be true, right?
It does. It does.
But imagine having an AI tool that can help you, make sure there's a smooth flow, find just the right tone, create a script that resonates with your audience.
And it makes you wonder, like, how much of the creative process is actually being handled by the AI at this point?
Right.
Are we sacrificing our unique voice for the sake of efficiency?
That's a valid concern.
Yeah.
It's something we should be mindful of as we, explore these new tools. But from what we're seeing with Manus IA, it seems like it's designed to be more of a collaborative partner than like a dictator of your content.
Right. So it's not about handing over the reins completely. It's about having this like really powerful tool to help you like refine your ideas and make your scripts even stronger.
Exactly. Think of it as like a writing partner who can, offer suggestions, point out areas that need clarity, help you craft a really engaging narrative.
It's like having another set of eyes on your work.
But it doesn't end there.
Oh, there's more.
Manus IA also offers assistance with recording and editing. Even though it doesn't actually work directly with the audio files.
Gotcha. So it's like having like a virtual producer.
It's like having a virtual producer.
Who's offering advice and tips.
Yeah. The article mentioned things like recommendations on recording techniques, background music, even sound effects.
Which could be really helpful.
Which could make a huge difference in how your podcast sounds.
It really could.
It's about like taking this holistic view
Yeah.
of the listening experience.
Right. It's not just about the words.
it's not just about the words you say.
It's the whole package.
It's about how they're delivered.
Yeah.
And the overall, like, atmosphere. Vibe that you create.
It's about creating an experience that really pulls people in.
Totally.
But even with the perfect script and, like, amazing audio quality, you're not going to find an audience if they don't know your podcast exists.
Right.
So how do you get it out there?
And that's where things get really strategic.
This is where Manus AI, I think, really shines.
Manus AI uses its, AI power to help with promotion and distribution.
Right.
Which is so crucial.
It is in today's world.
In such a crowded podcasting landscape.
Right. Like, how do you stand out?
Exactly.
And we've talked about how Manus AI can analyze data and trends.
Right.
It can help you target your marketing, choose the right platforms, and even track how people are engaging with your show to see what's working and what's not.
So it's like having an entire marketing team.
Yeah, it's like having a whole team of experts dedicated to your podcast.
Dedicated to getting your podcast in front of the right listener.
In front of the right people.
Yeah.
But it doesn't stop there.
Right.
Manus AI even offers suggestions on how to engage with your audience and build a loyal following.
So it's not just about, downloads. It's about creating a community.
Yeah, building a community around your podcast.
Exactly.
And that's key for anyone who wants to be in it for the long haul.
Absolutely.
But while we're on the topic of big picture thinking, let's shift gears for a second.
Okay.
And talk about how AI is changing the podcasting world as a whole.
Right. It's clear that AI is transforming how podcasts are made, managed.
Consumed. Yeah.
But is this ultimately...
Is it a good thing?
A positive force?
Yeah.
Is it going to empower creators?
Is it going to lead to more diverse, more interesting podcasts?
Yeah, and more interesting podcasts.
Yeah.
Or is there a risk that,
Yeah.
It could lead to a world where...
Every podcast sounds the same.
Every podcast starts to sound the same.
Right, and that's the million-dollar question.
That's the million-dollar question.
And it's something we all need to think about as AI becomes, more integrated into this whole creative process.
Absolutely. I mean, on the one hand, AI has the potential to make podcasting...
More accessible.
More accessible,
Right.
Allowing anyone with a story to tell to create... high quality content.
That could really break down barriers.
It could break down barriers.
For people who maybe haven't had the resources or the know-how in the past to make a podcast.
Give a voice to people who might not have had that before.
And that could lead to a much wider range of topics and perspectives, making the podcasting world even richer.
More diverse, more interesting.
That's exciting to think about.
It is exciting.
But then there's the flip side.
Yeah.
What if relying too heavily on AI leads to a lack of originality?
Right.
What if all podcasts start sounding the same because everyone's using the same tools?
Right.
To generate ideas, to do their research, to write their scripts.
That's a valid concern.
It is.
And it's something we need to be aware of as we, embrace these new technologies. I think the key is finding that balance.
Yeah.
Between, using AI as a tool to enhance our creativity and making sure we don't let it dictate every creative decision we make.
Right. It's about remembering that AI should be there to help us unlock our own potential.
Yeah.
Not stifle it.
That's stifling.
We need to hold on to that human element that makes podcasting so special.
Yeah.
The genuine connection.
Between
the creator and the listener.
Yeah.
The shared experience of storytelling.
Totally.
The feeling that you're part of a conversation.
That's something AI can never replicate.
Right.
Ultimately, it's up to us, the creators, to use AI responsibly. And make sure it serves to amplify our voices.
Yeah.
Not silence them.
Well said. And on that note, I'm kind of curious to see how Manus AI is presenting itself to the world. Like, what can we find on their website?
Let's take a look. Their website is manus.nm, right?
That's right, manus.mm.
Manus.m.
Let's see what they've got. All right, so we've got manus.m pulled up here.
Okay.
And I got to say, it's a really nice-looking website.
Yeah, it's very clean.
It's very clean. It's modern.
Yeah.
It definitely feels like it was designed for... podcasters.
I agree. It's very user-friendly. It's intuitive.
Yeah.
They're really highlighting all those AI-powered features we were just talking about.
Right.
The content research, script generation, even the personalized marketing recommendations.
Yeah. It seems like they're really trying to be like
Yeah.
A one-stop shop for everything you need.
A one-stop shop.
Totally.
For your podcast.
I like that they have a whole section on audience engagement, too.
Yeah, yeah. And I think that's really smart because,
yeah,
it's not just about making the podcast. It's about, building that community.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not enough to just create great content, right?
Right.
You need to connect with your listeners.
Yes.
Keep them coming back for more.
Keep them engaged.
Yeah. Building a community around your podcast.
Yeah.
Is essential for, long-term success.
Totally. And it looks like Manus AI is giving podcasters the tools to do that.
It does.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're emphasizing that it's about, building that loyal audience.
Exactly.
It's not just about getting a ton of downloads.
Right. It's about fostering that genuine connection.
Exactly.
With your listeners.
Yeah. And they have a bunch of testimonials.
From podcasters who are already using Manus AI.
Okay.
And it seems like they're pretty happy with it.
What are they saying?
They're talking about saving time.
Okay.
Making better content. Even seeing their audience grow.
That's great.
It's always good to see,
real-world examples.
Real-world results.
Yeah, of how the tool is actually making a difference for creators.
It seems like Manus AI is living up to the hype.
It does, yeah.
It's like I say, after taking this deep dive into Manus AI,
yeah,
I'm pretty impressed.
Yeah, me too.
It seems like a really powerful tool. And it could totally change, how we think about making podcasts.
Yeah, and how we listen to them, too.
And how we listen to them. That's a good point.
That's a whole new world.
It is. It is.
That's exciting.
So as we wrap up, I want to go back to that big question we were talking about earlier.
Okay.
What does the rise of AI in podcasting actually mean for the future of the medium?
Yeah, is AI going to,
Yeah, is it going to take over?
Take over completely?
Or is there still a place for, the human touch?
Right, right.
What do you think?
I don't think AI is going to replace human creativity.
Okay.
I see it more as a tool that can enhance what we do.
Enhance our abilities.
Yeah. Help us tell our stories in new and, innovative ways.
Right. It's all about using AI responsibly.
Responsibly, yeah.
Ethically.
Ethically.
We need to be mindful of the potential downsides,
Right.
Like the risk of all the content starting to sound the same.
Yeah, or becoming too reliant on algorithms.
Too reliant on algorithms, yeah.
Right.
But if we use AI thoughtfully, I think it can unlock some amazing possibilities.
Incredible possibilities, yeah.
For podcasters.
It could help us reach bigger audiences.
Yeah.
Connect with our listeners on a deeper level.
Totally.
And create even more engaging and immersive audio experiences.
I think that's a great point to end on.
Yeah.
So for all the podcasters out there, don't be afraid to explore AI.
Yeah, explore the power of AI.
But always remember to use it in a way that serves your vision.
Yeah.
And strengthens that connection with your audience.
Your audience.
And for all the listeners out there.
Yeah.
Get ready for a wave of new and exciting podcasts.
I'm ready.
Powered by AI. Who knows what we'll be listening to in the years to come?
That's an exciting thought.
It is. It is.
Keep listening.
Keep exploring.
Keep creating.
And until next time, happy podcasting, everyone.